Obviously, one of the big things is the culture and the energy that coach has always talked about. And from an outside perspective, being around a lot of different coaches, you always wonder, hey, is that thing real? Is the juice real? Is what he's talking about real? And then you sit in here on day one of meetings and you realize how real it is. And you realize how and why he's had the success that he's had in his career.
With your title, I guess, what does that mean? You kind of oversee, or what you do, or how does that?
That's a great question. I'm still trying to figure that one out through HR. No, I think I'm just trying to really be the best assistant I can be, to be here to be a resource for Clint. He and I go back obviously through our days at Chicago. Be a great resource for him, help in the back end where I can, and really in the back seven with the backers and the safeties and the nickels and the corners, and try to provide as much support as I can to the coaching staff. Yeah, I don't think challenges is the right word, to be honest. I think it's excitement. I think it creates excitement to be able to work with special talent like that, and uh, that's kind of what I prefer to hang my hat on. To be able to work with unique guys and put guys in position to go make plays and optimize their talents. That's what coaching is, right? You got to take the best out of each individual and make them the best that they can be, and that's what we're going to look to do with Jamal and really all the guys back there. I think we've had some success over my time, through Chicago and even from Temple to Miami and Boston College where I worked at, where we've had some success with different guys. I guess the most a good recent example would be like Robert Quinn. Who's had a lot of sustained success in a 4-3 defense, and a lot of people kind of thought that he was past his prime, a couple years ago, and then he had a really high level year for us as an outside backer. Eddie Jackson's got a unique skill set. We were able to play multiple spots with him, from the nickel spot to a safety spot to a dime spot, and so you're able to just try to identify the traits that will help each individual be successful, and then figure out how that can fit into your scheming philosophies. But one thing that we got to understand: this is still the Pete Carroll, Clint Hurt defense that we're going to be seeing in 2022. They're going to have their stamps on it, as they should. They've both earned that right, and especially Clint has earned that right. And so this is going to be a lot of that. And there's some flavors that we'll be able to bring in from my past experiences, and obviously Clint's been with Vic also, that we'll be able to bring in some different philosophies and some different ways of doing things schematically. But you should be able to identify Clint Hurt-led defense this year. Yeah. Studying them, the one thing you can really tell is they're football players. That's one thing I think sometimes we undervalue. Our guys, good football players, and those two are good football players, and they've got a lot of demonstrated success at a lot of different roles throughout their careers. So I'm talking from college into the NFL, and then being with them these last couple of weeks, you see why they're good football players. Their passion for the game, their passion and eagerness to learn, and that was one of the first things I asked through the process of coming here. I asked Clint and Coach about the type of guys that we had on the team. Are these guys going to want to learn? Are they going to be checked out? Because that's important to me. I pride myself on teaching, and I want guys that want to learn, because we're going to teach them at a high level and then expect them to execute at that same level. To me, it's about bringing information down that's relatable to the player. We got to try to make some complex things simple, but they got to understand the depth of it, and you got to open their eyes and their ears and give them different looks and try to relate to them so they understand the information you're trying to get to them, and then give them the why. I don't think you can get message across without giving them the why. Well, you see some length and speed out of both those guys, and they're unique in their own ways. Kobe's got really good ball skills at the top of routes, and he can really judge the ball well. Tariq, obviously, his length shows up in so many ways. When he's pressed, when he's off, when he's playing the ball in a chase, in a trail position. So I think those guys are so eager, and there's so much growth potential for them, which is another exciting thing. The how part's the easy part, right? You know how to do it. You take the classes. You take the classes that they tell you to take, and then you do the work. That's really what it was. I went to school to get my doctorate. And coaching at that point in my life, I didn't know how real of a possibility that was going to be. And fortunately, it became a real possibility for me, but I was going there to get my doctorate. So that was a kind of a non-negotiable, that you got to do the work, right? Just like, people ask you, how do you coach those long hours and everything? You just do it. You're passionate about it, and you put in the work, and it doesn't feel as long as it is. And so you get organized. You wake up at 3 a.m. and You work till 7. You work football from 7 to 7, and then from 7 to midnight or 11, you do academics again, and that's your cycle. And that was the cycle for 3 years. But I think that's really helped me in my coaching career, and I know it's helped me in my academic side of it. Coaching is one of the highest forms of education and teaching. You just get to do it on a different surface, and so with that education background, I think it's really helped my perspective and how I approach players and how I approach even the game and the way I look at the game.